Blake, during the USF game, I got to admit, I just have come to expect the O-line to be so good that when the defense makes a play or gets a tackle for a loss, I'm almost surprised. What's it like to be part of that group and have such high expectations? I imagine you guys expect the same things of yourselves when you're watching the film. So what's that like to have such a high expectation?
I mean, we've always had a high expectation for ourselves, and we really strive to get better every day, every game. But it's good to hold ourselves to a high standard and just try to meet it. I don't think we're ever where we want to be, and I think that's a good thing because we keep trying to grow and get better.
Like Kalani was talking a little bit about how Baylor is the class of the Big 12 and kind of the standard of that conference. From a player perspective, do you guys look at this game at all as a measuring stick for the preparation of this program in terms of the Big 12, or not really?
I think all I got to say about that is I'm just excited to play them. I think it's a team that I've been really looking forward to this offseason, and kind of just been preparing myself both physically and mentally for it. But, yeah.
Okay, well, next take questions from Jake and then Mitch.
Blake, your background as a guy who never played offensive line before you got to BYU is pretty well chronicled at this point. But where do you feel like you have improved the most, I guess, going into this season versus maybe the past 2 or 3 years playing at offensive tackle?
I would just say more and more reps always helps. I feel more comfortable. I had a lot of time to work on specific techniques and specific things that kind of will just elevate my game from where it's been. But yeah, just more and more reps. I think offensive line is a game of reps, and 4 years is a good amount of time to get those reps in.
Blake, what do you remember from facing Baylor's defensive line last year, and are you guys, maybe just the physicality that Baylor brings in the trenches?
I remember they're a really good defense. I think this year we need to run the ball a lot better than we did, and I think that starts up front. I think we have a lot to prove. Just going against a good defensive line. Just got to be able to run the rock.
Take a question from Jay Drew now.
Hey, Blake, what will your feelings be and emotions of seeing Eric Mateos and Jeff Grimes on the other sideline? Obviously, you went through it last year, but then do you have maybe a favorite Mateos story?
I mean, we've all got a lot of Mateos stories. He's a good dude. He's a funny guy, but I think just I'm excited to play against him. I'm just really grateful for both him and Coach Grimes, kind of preparing me my first 2 years. But yeah, it'll be good to see those guys again.
Any good stories? Putting you on the spot, I know.
I know. I wish I would have been able to get prepared for that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but yeah, sorry.
All right, question from Jared Lloyd and then Jake Hatch.
We talked about the high standard, Blake, but you also had, different guys getting opportunities. Kingsley got to be in there and make some big plays. What was your assessment of how everybody stepped up in game one, just as far as, those guys that got more opportunities than maybe they would have otherwise?
I was proud of our group. I thought we did well. We had a good amount of guys play, which was awesome. And all the dudes that were able to get in performed. They did really well. There was no drop off between anybody, so I think it's good having a few extra dudes that can play and step in whenever needed. We just got to keep competing against each other and up our game every week.
Is that weird, though? Usually the offensive line seems to be pretty set, and to do the rotation, something doesn't happen. Was it weird to do that?
Not really. I think when all 7-8 dudes that are playing at a high level, I think it really helps, and it's kind of a seamless transition. I mean, I was playing next to Campbell for a few series yesterday or 2 days ago, and felt like nothing really changed. And we've all played together for all camp and all spring ball, so it's been good. It's we got a bunch of dudes that can play, so that's nice.
Blake, a lot of guys at different positions look at guys in the pro ranks as got people that kind of model their game after. Is there a tackle or a player in the NFL that you've kind of tried to model your game after as an offensive tackle?
I wouldn't say anybody specific, but there's a lot of guys I watch to kind of take things from their game and try to just better mine. I watch a lot of dudes and kind of take what I can from them and just try to make it into my own type of game.
How much does your dad have an influence in all of that?
He didn't play offensive line too much. He played in high school a little bit, so I like to talk to him and kind of relay information back and forth with him and try to figure stuff out. But he's told me a few times, he's like, your knowledge has surpassed my offensive line knowledge. So we don't really talk too much O-line technique, but he's a good guy to bounce off ideas with.
Thank you.
We got time for another question. Go ahead, Kevin.
You mentioned kind of rotating guys in on the line, and you're pretty comfortable with it at this point. Do you think that's something that you guys could do throughout the year, going 8 deep, kind of 12 weeks out of the year, or do you kind of see this as solidifying it down to 5 and have less rotation as the year goes on?
I'm not really quite sure. I think we got a lot of dudes who can play, and until people start to separate themselves, I guess. But I think we got a good thing going right now, and just whatever Coach Funk thinks is going to be the best way to go is the way to go, you know.
Awesome, Blake. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Good luck this week.
Yep.